How you do, cousin? I'm Rusty. I buy and sell things for a living to make a profit and take care of my family and my loved ones. Maybe you're someone who does this full-time, maybe part-time. Maybe you're just interested in evaluating things that you already have. Either way, this video is for you. We're going to get into inspecting a variety of items today. I'm going to talk you through how I determine values of things, how I decide to list them, and I'll also give you my thought process when I'm out sourcing, looking for items. Let's get into it right now. What you're seeing right here, folks, is some pieces of jewelry that I've laid out. This is all stuff I purchased at 2 separate thrift stores yesterday in my community. This is the kind of stuff that you can find usually around you, not necessarily these specific items, but small pieces of jewelry that are priced in the $2, maybe $1 to $3 or $4 range at thrift stores or yard sales, things like that, and they have value. I'm going to talk about what I paid for them, what I plan on listing them for, and how, and my reasoning behind why I purchased the things that I did. So to start off here, we have this little necklace right here. I say little, it's actually not that little, it's fairly large. You could call this sort of a chunky situation. You can see it, the price tag still on it. I paid $5 for this. Now I found this piece first, okay, and the first thing I do is I go to the clasp to see if there's any markings to indicate that it's made out of silver or gold, or if there's a maker mark on it. In this case, you see it's got this sort of newer claw clasp, and it has this little hang tag. Well, let's just look at the hang tag and see what it says. On one side, it's got this, the back of a little stone that's inset there. And then right here, it says Stella and Dot. So I've sold stuff by this maker before. It's a medium to lower range, I would say, probably a costume jewelry brand. What you're looking at here are faux pearls, kind of in this, hanging off, almost like a charm would do. You got this little post through it, and it's real chunky, a lot of different sizes. This gold colored chain here, and that's nice on its own. But as I went through the store to another area where jewelry was, I found a bracelet, and I knew, these go together. And this one was priced at $3. So my plan is to actually sell these, list these as a partial set or a set, bracelet and necklace. So I'm $8 in. These individually sell for between $25 and $32 each. So my plan is I'm going to list these together as a buy it now for probably $60 or $62. I would be happy if someone just bought it straight up for that price, but I'd probably sell it as low as maybe $55, something like that for the lot. So I'm going to turn $8 into $55 to $60 as a sale. Now, these pieces right here were amongst all the costume jewelry, but you'll find that if you won't go to inspect these little bracelets down again by the clasp, okay, you'll see this one right here has a little clasp, and you may or may not be able to tell just by looking at this distance, but right here by my thumbnail, this little part of the clasp that moves in when you pull this has a small stamp. And that stamp says 925, which means this piece entirely is made out of sterling silver. First thing you do is you take a magnet to it to see if it's magnetic. If it's not magnetic, the fact that it's marked and not magnetic is a good indication that it is made of silver. Now, of course, you'll want to test it further, like a scratch test, if you have the ability to do so. But usually, if it has a mark and it's not magnetic, more often than not, it is what it claims to be. This is a cool design. It's like a flat bracelet. And then this one right here is what they would call a tennis bracelet in design. You got these large clear stones. It's a gold color. Nice little piece. They make these out of just completely, base metals all the way up into gold. So the style of bracelet, you can't know exactly who made it or what it's made out of. But again, we want to look at the clasp. This one is undone. And if you look at this on the back, well, I don't see anything. Look at the front of that, nothing. Let's go to the other side where it would clip in. On the top of it, again, just a regular old clasp for this style of bracelet. But if you flip it over, on the bottom there, you have a number of different marks. One of the marks is the maker mark. Another mark says 925, indicating that this is sterling silver. Now, the fact that it's gold means it's probably a very light coating of gold, like a gold over sterling silver. And then it says CZ, which stands for cubic zirconia. So what this has said, it tells me if I want to do extra research on the maker, I could figure out who it is. But what I know, again, this is not magnetic, is that this is a gold color over sterling silver with cubic zirconia stones in it. They're not diamonds, they're cubic zirconia. It's good enough looking, but this is it's sterling silver. I paid $3 for this, just like all these other pieces of jewelry I'm about to show you, but it definitely has more value than that because it's made out of silver. So both of these pieces would be more considered a fine, or more approaching fine jewelry, because it's made out of a precious metal, more so than this. Now then, I've pulled up my handy little magnifying glass here, and I'm going to try to zoom in. Hopefully this will help us to see it a little bit better. I'm going to zoom in on it here, and then that way you can see. So the next step, we have this pendant that is in the shape of a cross, almost maybe more like a Maltese cross, because they're equal sides, up and down and left and right. You've got some black enamel and white enamel painted on here after the fact, and then some other little stones, also either glass or cubic zirconia most likely. At the top, same thing. So if I flip it over, again, we're going to look here to see, is there any sort of mark that we can tell what this might be. So looking in, it's got this interesting texture on the back. That doesn't tell us a whole lot. But then on the top here where this would connect, it actually opens up, as you can see right here. I can pop it open, okay, like that, and you can see that we've got this little thing that can attach as like a pendant. And on the back here, I guess you can't see it still very well. If I try to zoom in, maybe you can see it. Yeah, it has a word, and it says Thailand, Thailand. So instead of a maker, this is just saying that it was produced in this country. It was produced in Thailand. So it's not made out of silver, it's not made out of gold, and we don't know who the maker is, but we do know where it was produced, and it's produced overseas. I live in the United States. So it's an attractive piece. Crosses or things of this particular shape and style typically sell. I paid $3 for this. I expect I could get between $14 and $20. Next up, we have this really beautiful brooch. And you can see we've got some really nice colored stones in this. It's beautiful, isn't it? All kinds of different colors, different shapes, some larger. Probably three different shapes, well, maybe four. 1, 2, 3, 4 different shape sizes. And then you've got like a teardrop type shape here as well. So really attractive piece. This is kind of like a floral design. Obviously, these look like little flower petals and things. If you turn it over, I'm not seeing any sort of maker mark. But in researching this, several different makers made ones of this style. This is probably from around the 1950s, 1960s. And these go anywhere from the, upper 20s up into the $40 range, depending on the look and the colors of it. I like how colorful it is. I like how, just the overall, motif is attractive. And all those colors are really nice, as opposed to if this was all clear stones, for example, I'd probably only get $14 to $20, but because it's got all these different colors, we're looking at a little bit of a nicer price that we'll get for that. And then here is a ring. Now, this is a really interesting, I don't know what they call this style of stone, this like cabochon stone. It's actually not a stone. It's made out of plastic with these different colors. And you've got some faux pearls and some other round rhinestones. But here's what's cool. So this is a ring, right? And you can put it on like this and wear it. I haven't measured the size of it yet, but But look at the side of it, which is so cool. What you're looking at is a mermaid. This is made in the shape of like a fictional character here. Mermaid on that side, same on this side. It's just facing the opposite direction. In this case, her little leg section is faced to the right. If you turn it over now, it's faced to the left. It's like a mirror image. Really cool, attractive piece. I've not come across one like this, and I haven't even researched the price yet, but I can tell you just from similar things I've sold, this would be a $20 to $30 piece. We want to look on the inside. I have not seen any sort of maker mark on it. In fact, there's a large amount of kind of like a glue type residue on the inside of that. Can you see that? The orangish color, that's like a thicker glue, and I don't know if that's in place to try to hold this stone because it's mainly metal under there. Not exactly sure what purpose that serves, but it's an attractive piece nonetheless. Now the next three pieces I bought all in the same place, and they're very, very cool. There's one little repair I'm going to have to do, but this set of earrings, they look like some sort of a bug, like a scarab type, little critter. And these are clip-on earrings. As you can see, they clip. That one's kind of round, but they would open like that. You stick it through. It's kind of like a stud, but also clip. It's like a combination of the two of those. And so it's a scarab. Now, the repair work I need to do, as you can see, one of the eyes, rhinestones, is missing. It's a red. I need to find a red stone of roughly the same shape, size, and color to put in there. I think I have it because I've got a lot of loose foil back rhinestones. But you can see that these are made out of some sort of a brass or copper type concoction. You can see they've welded it, or not welded it, they've soldered it here in the bottom and on the top to put these little rings on. But this and the rest of them I'll show you as well are likely made in Czechoslovakia or the Czech Republic. And this is what they would consider an Egyptian revival piece. So scarabs are a common image or thing that items, jewelry, and other depictions, paintings and things were made out of. The scarabs from in Egypt back hundreds, if not thousands of years ago. And there was a period of time there where there was a revival in interest in Egyptian-related items and shapes and common themes. And the scarab was one of them. And so here you are. They revived this. There was a renewed interest, so jewelry and different things started to be produced from different images that were popular in that region years and years ago. Here's another really cool piece, and you can see it's some sort of like face with a cool design. This is almost like a combination, honestly, of like an art deco, kind of going from basically more of like a Victorian to more of an Art Deco. It's not exactly Art Nouveau because it's not really like rounded edges. It's more straight lines and these interesting shapes. But again, it drops down. You've got a butterfly here, and then just some sort of an early, glass that is opaque. Same material, same construction with the soldering, same type and shape of the place where you would connect it to your ear. Another really cool set of earrings. By the way, I paid $5 a piece for these earrings, which is high. I don't usually pay that much, but I don't come across pieces like this all that often in the earrings. I come across, Czech or West Germany produced brooches and things all the time, but not big intricate earrings. Here's another one, same situation. You've got rhinestones. In this case, you've got an elephant on here, and then you have Czech glass beads, roundish, or kind of like they're ridged and they're an interesting shape. And then another one that's also glass, but it's kind of more of this, I don't know how you describe it, a swirly type of a blue and white. Same construction, again, same type of top. It's made in the same materials, in the same way. These are all produced in the same time period, in the same location. But each one of these pairs of earrings, I'm probably going to list for $50 or $60 a piece because they are vintage, they're older, they are unique. You don't come across them a lot. And the comps suggest that that's about what they'll sell for. So I've paid $5 a piece for these. I'm $15 in on these three pairs of earrings. I'm going to list each of them for $50 or $60, hoping to come out with about $150 in sales off of a $15 expense. A few months ago, cousins, I bought a bunch of stuff out from a thrift store. And basically, the situation is that they were getting more stuff more quickly than they could sell it. And so stuff started piling up. And I made a deal with them to buy a bunch of stuff in bulk from them at a price that we agreed upon. Now, there were several boxes and several tubs, and it's taken a long time to get through it, and I'm still going through it. And so I felt like in this video, one of the things that might help you is to go through some items which I'm seeing for the first time as well as you, to try to talk about and explain how I decide what I do with things when I get them. So I bought a lot of this stuff. I had a general idea. It was just antiques and collectibles, which is the types of stuff I sell, but I didn't know exactly what specifically was in there. Now, the good news is I've already made my money back on the whole lot. So I have no cost of goods in this stuff anymore. So when I sell it, I don't have to factor that in anymore. I just have to think about my tax liability and the shipping and that sort of thing, and then the rest is going to be my net profit, right? So they're usually in tubs like this are things that I need to, maybe they're broken and I just have to trash them. Maybe some things have value, but I need to repair them first or fix them if I can. And then the rest would be things that will go out and be sold, either individually or in groups. The last category is stuff that maybe it has some value, but it's just not that collectible, not that interesting. I could sell it, I wouldn't make much, and it would take a long time. And those are the kinds of things that I will then just package up until I have a good amount, and I'll donate to a local thrift store. I buy at thrift stores, but I also donate to them pretty regularly. So let's get into this here and see what kinds of things that we have. So the first thing we've got here is this ceramic, little thing. It looks like maybe a little vase. You can also see that stuff had been priced by the thrift store to try to sell before I got it. They never put it out. So a lot of these will have price tags. I'll have to remove them. I don't want to be distracted by what they thought they should sell it for or what they thought that they could make in the store, because that is probably not going to be accurate. I have to do my own research. I'm not going to go by it. But just to look at this is like an attractive piece. Nice colors, interesting design. And in the bottom, you have a little squiggly line, but that would have indicated the person. This is some sort of mark probably from the person who made this. This looks like a handmade piece. It's a ceramic. And it's functional. So this would be the kind of thing I would probably throw up. Instead of $10, I'm going to be asking more like $25 to $30 for this. Do I think I'll necessarily sell it for that? Well, maybe not. But if someone offers me $20, I'll take it, right? Because if everything in here was worth $10 to $20, I'm still going to do pretty well on this stuff. What do we have here? Chimney Rock Park. Now, I live in Western North Carolina, and Chimney Rock is a really cool, place to visit. There's a really cool rock formation you can either take an elevator up to or hike up to. And this looks like an old pamphlet or like an old guide thing for people who came to the park. I'm wondering if we're going to find a date on here. I'll look at it a little later, but this would fall into what they call the paper ephemera category. And believe it or not, this stuff has value. People maybe who grew up around there, or maybe they work there, or who knows what, might have interested. There's an annual photo contest. That's fun. So that'll go up. I don't know the price yet, but that definitely has some standalone value. Don't think it'll be flying off the eBay store the first day or two, but eventually we'll find somebody who wants to buy it. Okay, so this is a cool little piece. I don't know if it's meant to hold like potpourri, or if it's maybe a candle holder. It'll hold a candle probably, something like that. You got this crackled glass type thing that's made specifically for this device. You have something almost like the shape of a ram or something here on 3 different sides holding it in place. It's all made of brass. You've got some flathead screws, which means it's probably a little bit of an older piece. Very cool. This is definitely usable. You could use this as an ashtray. You could use this as several different possible things. Also, even if you just like the look of it, you could throw it up on the shelf, and that could be just some sort of an aesthetic piece. So that has standalone value. Probably ask somewhere in the $30 to $36 range for that. Let's move through some more ceramics. Here's another little ceramic, it's almost like an ashtray type size. Maybe you could put some little nuts or some little snacky things in there. You can see the orange color down there where you've got like the iron kind of has bled through there a little bit. You've got a little glaze. This is more of like a rural type piece pottery here. This is not, this is probably a handmade thing, not made by a large company. I'll put this over here with the ceramics and that will go out. I probably wouldn't sell it individually. I'd probably put this one right here with it or any others that I find in there. It's different. Again, you've got a little mark here that might indicate the mold shape. It might indicate who made it as an individual or a place. You got these little puffy deals here to kind of keep it from scraping across the table. I like that little kind of beige to green sort of speckledy look. Definitely old ceramic stuff can sell. It depends. Sometimes it goes quick, sometimes it doesn't. It's difficult to tell, but now here's a cool little thing. This is probably made to hold like sugar or something, like a little sugar dish. It's etched. It looks like it's crystal to me. You open it up and we've got a little spoon in here as well. See if I can open it with one hand. There you go. So to me, you want to look around the edge of this on the inside, around the back of it as well, around the edges, and see if you can find a mark that says 925 or sterling or stir, could say 900. All of those would indicate silver content. And you can see this pink color kind of on the inside. So it has been polished at some point. That looks like silver polish to me. Oh man, it is super caked on there. They did not do a very good job of wiping it off. I wouldn't want to have a bunch of silver polish in here if I was pulling sugar out to eat. But all that to say, this definitely is in a good condition. It's not cracked. It has this little spoon, which also you would want to look on the back. There's a mark to see. And what does it say? It says EPNS, which means it's a silver, and it says made in England. So it's old, it's English, but it is it's not sterling silver, it's silver plated. And you have some sort of maybe an old Bakelite or some kind of an old plastic that is definitely heavily deteriorated. I might want to remove that because it kind of stands out. Part of it I like because it keeps it from falling out. It's easy to grab onto, which is, I'm sure, why they made it that way. But anyhow, that will go off by itself. Probably ask maybe in the $28, $30 range, something like that. Here's some cool little goblets, ceramic goblets, blue with like a floral motif on the bottom. It says Thailand, and we've got at least 3 of them here. 1, 2, and 3. Those would go out in a lot. I wouldn't sell them individually, and this is probably like a $14 to $20 thing. Who knows? I might put them on auction, but my guess is they're probably fairly mass-produced. Nice little pink mugs, kind of sort of shallow mugs, maybe for some tea. That would be nice. Pink color. And on the back here it says either Shenango or Sharango, China, Newcastle, USA. So that's cool. We've got a maker. We got a cool mark. I'll look that up. I have no idea. I'm not familiar with that brand, so I don't know what they'll bring. But it looks like we got at least 2 of them, so that helps. People like to buy things for things like cups or silverware, things they want to have sets or pairs or 4 at a time. So those will go out. Those will be a lot by themselves, probably maybe $20 to $24 for those. What do we got here? Interesting, black glass. And you can see it had some old stickers here from previous attempts to sell it, or maybe successful sales, and they took that off, but they didn't wipe off the residue. You got an interesting little handle shape up here. This is going to be one of those, because I don't see a maker mark, I'm going to use Google Lens, or I'm going to put it up in eBay and search a photo of it and see if I can find others like it. I definitely have sold pieces of glassware made out of this black glass in the past, and certain patterns, certain companies can sell for really good money, but that's going to require a little bit of additional research on my side. And I say that, everything in here I'm going to research. I'm just kind of going off of what I think. Now this is cool, an interesting shaped glass bottle. It's not that old, probably from the 50s or 60s, and it says Nyanza, pure brand, oregano, and so I don't know, Hanf and Wrangler, New York. I will say that it looks like it was probably for some sort of an herb. You got this up here, you would shake it out. I will say that antique and even newer, if they're collectible glass jars or bottles or things with medicine or bitters or things, when you have the original label on it, it brings more money than if it does not. Moving on here, we've got this right here. Now, I would almost guarantee you that this is a backgammon set, but if not, it could be chess or checkers, could be one of those multi-sets, but based on the size, it's intended as a travel game. So let's open her up. Let's see what we got. Well, I was wrong, folks. It's dominoes. Isn't that cool? Very cool. You got some of them have this little metal piece in the center of them, and some don't. Is it because it fell out? Yeah, okay, so they all would have had it, but a couple of them have fallen out. Of course, I'm going to want to go through here, and I'm going to want to count and see how many are in here. You're hoping that it's an entire set and that none have been lost while people use the game, because it's harder to make a sale on ones that are not complete, right? But that's cool. I don't come across ones with dominoes as much as I come across things like backgammon, as I mentioned. But that will definitely go up. That's something to be sold individually, unless I find other game sets and things in here. So that's nice. That definitely has some value. What do we have here? Okay, this is nice, man. This is made out of wood, and it's a fan. Look at that. It's like a little fan, so you can open it up. It's got this really cool design in here. Oh, what does it say? It says Bali. Okay, nice. So this would have been made most likely as some sort of, not a trinket, but some sort of a thing to be purchased by people traveling to an area. It's kind of like a travel, tourist, keepsake or thing that they can take, but it's very intricately carved. It's really cool. It's functional, it works, and it's made out of very beautiful wood, which is my guess would be a wood that is native to Bali. Very neat. I don't come across these very often. I'll have to do some research to see what these are selling for. You're not going to bring huge money, I would guess, but certainly. So far, the good news is so far everything that we've looked at and talked about, I think I should sell. I think it has value to sell. Now, if I look up, say, some of these mugs or whatever, and they're selling for $10 or $12, maybe that's a donation. But so far, everything seems like it would have some value, and I'm excited about this piece. Look at this. This is what they call, you would describe this as a celadon piece. It's this minty green color, and these are typically Asian made pieces. It's got, as you can see, this crackly, come on, zoom in here, folks. This crackly kind of glaze on it. You got this sort of hand-painted darker colors and this image on it. And it's this is a lid. This can be taken off. And we got an old price tag sitting in here. But it's in really good condition. It's not cracked. Well, yeah, for a second I thought that was a crack, but it's not. That's just a little spot where the glaze didn't fully get on it. You want to turn it over and look. Okay, so by looking at this, this to me appears to be Japanese characters. Now, Japanese character, I cannot read Japanese, the Japanese language, nor can I read in any sort of Asian language of any kind. But usually the Japanese characters are vertically written out in this way, whereas Chinese ones would be more, horizontal, and or sometimes they're stamps like inside of a square or a rectangle, but when they're long and vertical, that typically means it's Japanese. You've still got some of this iron oxide here with that underneath where the glaze didn't fully go over the bottom. But this is a beautiful little piece. I definitely think this is something I would throw up for probably in the $30 to $40 range. It's not very large, and I'm not exactly sure what the purpose of it is, what it was meant to hold. But it's an attractive piece, and it definitely has some value. Okay, let's get back in here. Some of these boxes, let's move through. So what is this? Paragon candles by Paragon. So it would be considered new. It says Christmas candles. Oh, there's no candles in here, folks. What do we got here? Surprise! We got an old school LCD wallet traveling clock, which looks to be in its original box. Who knows if it's ever been used. Right here we have operating instructions. This is some sort of it's a clock. another clock, okay, of some kind. I'll look into that a little bit more later. What do we got here? Bulova. It's like another little alarm thing by the Bulova company, which is cool. Down here we have what appears to be a small calculator, okay, in its original box. Right here we have a DuPont brand, what is this? Set in mode. So it's a clock, a display thing as well. What is this box for? This is another little clock. Boy, a lot of tiny little clocks all put together in here. And then this little old Walt Disney flip book. That's cool. Now, all of these need to be researched individually. Some of these things, they're older. They're in the original box, which is great. Oh, look at it. It's like a, yeah, look at this. Donald. He's upset. Big surprise. He hit himself in the head with a mallet, and he's not happy about it. As it goes. So that's cool. I mean, it's older. This is probably from the 1950s, 1960s. We'll see if we can find a date really fast in here. Well, nothing on any of those pages. Nope, looks like there's no date. But if I look it up, I'll probably find others like it, and I'll get the idea of the time period. But that's cool. Big surprise. A lot more research needs to be done on these. If none of them are individually seeming like they've got good values, then I'll put all of these clocks together in one lot. And I'll just say, even with maybe a calculator may be a little different, but these little clocks and timers and stuff, I'll put together, and I'll just write like untested, because I'm not going to put batteries in all of these and test them. It's not worth my time, frankly. But that's a cool lot. That'll go together. Okay, now this says it's a Craftsman roto saw for electric drill or a drill press. So it's this yellow device, is my guess. Open it up. Oh no, it's the whole thing. It's this. Look at this. Now this is old school. We got a serial number. We can look that up. Craftsman, among other brands, do a good job of putting model numbers or serial numbers so you can date them and know the exact time period that it was made. I don't know if all of the components are in here that are supposed to be in here, but that's a cool old piece. And having the original box with it is also really cool. I have no idea if it works. I don't know how to make it work, but I'll do a little work on that, research it. Roto, so Craftsman, though, is a good brand. I sell a lot of Craftsman brand tools and things, so I have high hopes for that. Here are some planer blades. A Yankee, does it say tap set? Some kind of a something set. Let's see if I can pry this puppy open here with my fingers. And this says it's a ratchet kit, the Yankee ratchet. So I've got some paper stuff in here, another little paper thing. These are planes. Okay, so I got some plain blades in here. So this is not this device. It's other stuff in here. So maybe I could sell this by itself, just an open container. If I take off this little thing so that it's not on there. And we'll have to look at what kind of blades these are, and then those blades might have their own values. 1940 finds your Y expanding. The men of the Y. Okay, so this is like the Y, like the YMCA. Oh boy, we got a man dressed up like a Native American, headdress. Look at this. What is this from? Is this like 1940s would be my guess? Oh, here's the ladies doing their thing. A typical girls group. Oh man, here's some youngins, some young men. Today's aggressive groups. The Winona seniors. And here's some a little bit older gentlemen. For 28 years, it's the Gloucester County YMCA. Now that's cool. So this is, again, some paper ephemera. So I'm going to put this down here. I'll fold it back up. Burp, 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 burp. And this will go over here with this. So I'm going to put them in different categories. That will help me so that whenever I say I'm listing a thing, maybe I'm listing all paper ephemera at one time. Maybe I'm doing all tools at another time. That sort of thing. Now look at this gavel. This metal gavel. Chrome. Boy, that's interesting. Okay, so let's inspect it here. I'm not seeing any writing, any names. Nothing like that. No maker's marks. Boy, if this was made out of sterling silver, holy goodness, this would be worth quite a bit. I don't believe that it is, but I'm not seeing any marks on the handle anywhere saying what it is or who made it, anything like that. It's got a little bit of scrapes and scratches. I don't know, but it's cool. Probably weighs at least 2 pounds in my hand. That's a neat little thing. I've never actually come across one of these like this before. I'll research that to see. I don't actually know what the market is for old gavels. We'll have to take a look. General Motors. So this is some kind of, oh, is it a GM? It says medallion. Ooh, is this one of those things that they put up on the hood or something? Oh my, this could be cool looking. What do we got here? Ooh, a big R. Okay, so GM, the Riviera. This is an emblem for a GM Riviera from who knows how old. Now that's cool, folks. Someone who's lost theirs, maybe it's tarnished, maybe it's rusted, fell off, and they're doing restoration on a vehicle, or they just want their original thing. This is like what they would call a new old stock. It's old because it was manufactured a long time ago, but it's new in the sense that it's never been used. It's been in this little box for who knows how long. And it comes with a box too. So that's very cool. Putting that in there. That's going to go over here with maybe the tools and stuff. What is this little thing? It looks like you would plug it in as a light, but this is like cardboard almost. You can see, got some condition issues here. The top. Okay, brownie dark room lamp. Oh, nice. So it's made by the Kodak company. So this, and you got a little tab here so you could pull this thing off, I guess, when it's time to use it. There's a bulb inside of this, folks, and you do plug it in. So I imagine it still works if it were plugged in. It's not been the top's not been taken off. Series 3, I'll look those up. People who use bulbs for dark rooms and stuff, as long as this works, they don't care how old it is. In some cases, they might want older products. So we'll see. That's one of those things. Maybe it has some value to sell. Maybe it doesn't. Oh, look, we got another medallion. Ford this time. And we got a serial number on the back, which helps us. This is what we'll use to research it. And we'll definitely put this in the title as well. But that's cool. So now I may start making my own little group in here of vehicular related parts. Here's another tool, a little old wrench. Look at that. And look, here we have the name of the company. I can't quite tell what it says. Something pattern wrench. Something, it's a Vice and Tool Works Inc. made in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Wooden handle, smaller. You know, this is probably a $14 to $20 item. People like these. People collect. There's a big tool collector group out there, so that might have some value. Well, guys, I have to go right into it. I'm interested. I'm going to slide this over. We got some old video game stuff here. So it's tiny little disc type of game and some sort of Game Boy game. I don't know what kind because look, it's the sticker on it to tell me what game it is has come off, unless it's on the other side. Let's see. Nope, it is not. Mystery game. This one right here is Assassin's Creed Bloodlines for a very specific type of game system. Yeah, I mean, those will sell. People like the older games, the vintage games, and man, look at this. It's a Sega Genesis, and it has Sonic the Hedgehog 3. So here's the deal. We'll have to see if there's some controllers in there. I can't play it if there's no controllers, but it's dirty. I'll clean it up. I'll wipe it down. It has this game in it. I could try selling this as an untested game system. Okay. I could sell it with this. If there's controllers, I could put it all together. Hopefully there's a like a power cord that goes with it. But if not, I could sell this by itself, untested, see if somebody wants it, and then sell the game by itself, because I'm almost certain the game would work. It looks like it's in good condition. Very cool. Love these old game systems. Definitely played me some Sonic the Hedgehog. Man, when we went from the Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES games, to Sega Genesis, and then you had Sonic, man. Sonic, that had so much more. The graphics were just so much better. And the speed of stuff was incredible. Okay, look at this little thing. What do we got here? This is a Microsoft brand, because you can see the sticker, if I can get it to zoom in here. Windows Mobile. It's a Pocket PC 2003 Pro. A little pocket PC from the iPack. Very cool. My guess is it takes a battery. How do we open this? Yep, there's the battery. Great. Now, we don't have a battery charger, it doesn't look like, for this, unless we find one in there later. Especially if we find the charger, definitely that's worth selling. Again, I'm going to have to sell this as an untested item because I'm not testing it. But look, it even has the original, I didn't even notice it. Look at this, it has the original stylus still in it. That's not lost. That's great. HP. Okay, cool. A little electronics. Here's something that's Sanyo. Zoom in here, Sanyo brand. This is going to be another, I'm not sure what this is. This is a dictation device? Yeah, so here it is, Philips brand. And you've even got one of those little original, looks like tapes in there to record. And this is what doctors back in the day would record themselves talking about, patient. They would store them as records. There's all kinds of reasons why you would want one of these. But again, it's made in Austria. Cool. You got the type and you got the model number there. It's Philips. And this thing somehow, if I push the right button, it would pop this open and the tape would be in there and you could remove it and put new ones in there. That definitely will have some value. It's an older thing, but people still use these and collect these types of items. Getting through it here. This is exciting looking. Look at this. Okay, well, hey, Griswold. That's nice. Now, it's not cast iron. It's not a typical cast iron skillet, but this is, as you see, it's cast aluminum. You got a number here. That's a reference number, probably for the size or maybe the mold. Griswold, Erie, Pennsylvania, USA. And here's another number, I don't know, AS09 or A809. Something like that, But this is nice. Griswold, folks, if you're not familiar, is a pretty collectible brand for maybe the most sought after brand of cast iron items. I've never come across an aluminum one personally. I've seen them, but I've never had one. This is great. It's got a wooden handle. It's not in the best shape condition wise. As long as it's flat though, it'll still have some good value. This is probably a $50 or $60 item would be my guess. So that's real nice. Certainly going to sell that individually if I can. What else we got in here? All right, we got a little saucer teacup with a little butterfly. Ainsley bone china from England, and it looks like maybe we got another item or maybe a couple, I don't know, that go along with it. We got this little saucer that the teacup can go on. I don't know how well the Ainsley stuff. I think it depends upon like the particular motif that they have. What do we got here? Is this also? No, this is different. Okay, nice. So it looks like we got some gold leaf plates here. We got a little hand-painted sort of like picture there, and look at this. This would be in probably, sometimes these are in like 22 karat gold or something like on the top of it. We'll see here. Look at that. Royal China, warranted 22 karat gold. All right, well, that's a pretty good guess, wasn't it? This is, a decent amount of some gold foil here on it. It's pretty. We got, what, 1 and 2. So good. We got a pair here, 2 different pictures. Same thing here. We're looking at, what does it say? Something City, Paden City pottery made in the U.S. of A. So even though this is much more of like a Victorian era or European sort of look here in the center, these were in fact made in the United States. Those will go out as a pair. This would go by itself. I have no idea what the value is of that though, so I'm going to have to do some research. What else we got? We got a little bag here. Looks like a little sport watch type situation, a smartwatch. iTouch Air. Now, who knows how new this is. If it's real old, it may not be worth much. We need to make sure it works. It looks like it has the charging cable in there, so we'll charge it up. If I'm going to photograph this to list it, I want to get it charged up and turn it on so that the photograph shows that the display is active and make sure that it's working. It also has, looks like another option. It's either another type of a watch in here, or it's a different type of a holder for it, a different type of something that a case or something. So we'll look that up. iTouch Air. I don't know how new or old that is. Here is some kind of, what does it say? It says on it, it is a mink scarf. Oh my. A scarf made out of genuine mink fur. So here's the deal with this. I'll look it up. Sometimes some of these things, clothing from animals, can be prohibited for sale on eBay, dependent. I don't know what the situation is with mink. I'll have to take it out and make sure it's not falling apart or disintegrating, make sure it seems like it's actually worth selling. And then I got to look up and see what mink is selling for these days. I don't know how many people are wearing mink furs these days, so I'm not seeing it around where I am. Doesn't mean it doesn't happen in other parts of the country, but... Okay, what are these? Color slides. They're made in Hong Kong, and they are slides and pictures of, it looks like little cartoon things. So probably there was some sort of little toy viewfinder that you put in look through with your on your head, and these would slide through, and you would look up at the light, or maybe it had a light display in there so you could go through and see them. These are interesting. I'll sell them probably in a lot all together. Look them up. My guess is they're not going to be worth a whole lot, but I could always be wrong. It could be that they're highly collectible, but I would doubt it. My guess is that they're pretty, mass-produced as well. Hofbrau, Bavaria. We got a ceramic mug here with a stamp, made in Germany. Okay, so that's Germany there. And I'm just going to, since I see some others that look similar, I'm going to go ahead and grab these as well. Here's another one. This one says it's also made, it's West Bavaria. It's a different one. And then here is another one. Lowenbrau, München. So it's another German, and in fact, there's the stamp again. It says made in Germany. So we've got these three, and you got like this little, it's a 0.5 liter maybe. I'm not quite sure. That's cool. So these will probably all go in a lot together, these three. Okay, so we got another little mug. I missed this one. Okay, so we got another one. Lowenbrau. Okay, in that case, I'll probably do this one and the other one like it. These two together, because they're the same, and then these two are very similar. Do those. So we'll have two different lots there of mugs. Some other mugs here. Okay, looks like some vintage Pyrex probably. What do we got here? Yes, Pyrex, some little mugs, and there's a name for this particular pattern. I don't remember what it is. It's a floral pattern, green. Looks like we've got two of the same. So again, we'll have a little lot here of two. That's fine. My guess is two are going to be something like $14 to $20. If that, maybe $12. I don't know how sought after that particular motif is, but all right, NovoFlex. So this is probably some sort of a device, some sort of a camera-related device. Okay, look at this. Yes, so this right here, you can see it's branded NovoFlex, Germany. And so what we have is some bellows here, it looks like. These things, right here, it's on this pole, and you can see the dimensions, and you can rotate it all the way to the end, so it would expand this bellows all the way in. And this is to focus. You would put a lens on one of these sides, and then, depending on both sides actually, and then depending on your aperture and how you want to zoom in, you could rotate this backwards or forwards. And this is just all a part of what I believe is probably a large format camera apparatus. So I'll look this up. This is a great little replacement part for people who are using this type of camera equipment and they need something, because this looks like it's never been used, or if it was used, it's used very little. So these bellows, old ones, they degrade, they crackle. If you get a hole in it or crack, like, they're toast. You don't want to use those. You don't want extra light coming in from the side. So somebody will probably be interested in this. That's a really cool find, and it comes in its own box, which is also great. So some camera equipment. I like that. Down here we've got, looks like we got, what is this? 3, 4, 5, 6 little plates. This looks like it might be Fiesta. And it is. Fiesta, genuine Fiesta. So what's cool is, these three colors, I believe, are very much like what that John Deere color. And there was a time, I haven't been buying and selling a lot of Fiesta stuff. It's been years, folks. But back in the day, certain colors were more sought after because they were quote-unquote retired or whatever else. We've also got this nice little powder blue color, and then just one sort of singular kind of a lime green to approaching yellow color. So if someone had a set and one of them broke, that's a great replacement. If you just want a couple, maybe some people have an eclectic set where they have 2 or 3 of several different colors as a part of it. That's great. The 3 here would work as well. I'll look them up. It might make sense. And they were going to try to sell all these for $10. That's a good price. I mean, that's less than $2 a piece. So I'm definitely going to sell it for more than that. I need to look up and see which colors are, better or worse. These are smaller plates. These are more like salad or side plates. If they were larger plates or like bowls or things, they'd be more valuable. But I'll take what I can get here, folks. Okay, last couple of items. This thing, what is this? Wow, it's got liquid in it. Holy goodness. Look at that. What does this say here? The Miracle Fire Extinguisher. Patented, manufactured by the Stemple. So, I guess this was made like a old school fire. Oh, it's got an old sticker on it. Still got the liquid in it, folks. It's just glass with some sort of flame retardant liquid. It can't be just water. It's got to be something else. Like, what did they have on here? What did they write? Miracle Fire Extinguisher, $100. Stemple. Well, I wonder if these are... People are buying these. Are still sought after. They had to get that information from somewhere, so that is interesting. Boy, I'd be very hesitant to ship something like this in the mail, like something that's glass with liquid in it. How would I, oh my goodness, like how would I make sure this doesn't bust in transit? I have to think about that. That's cool. I mean, if I can make $100 on it, I guess, shoot, I'll try. But that's interesting. I've never seen one of those. Have you ever seen one of those? I almost hesitate even setting it down. I don't want it to, well, goodness me. Is it going to, it's just going to lay over on the ground. That is, I don't know. I don't know about that, folks. I don't know about it. Okay, we've got a bunch of coasters here now. Leonard branded Silverplate coasters, and there's a set of 7. They're asking $40. Well, they look to be in pretty good condition. Made in Italy. That's nice. And they're silver plated, so they're not heavily tarnished unless there's... they all look like they're in pretty good shape. Well, that's great. A set of 7 is real nice. So we'll do those. That's what it looks like, folks. So, to be honest with you, just on gut feeling here, folks, just on gut feeling, if there were things I was going to donate, it would probably be these little blue things, this. We'll have to look at the black glass. I don't know. I don't know if I feel comfortable shipping that. This might be worthless. This might be a donation if it doesn't work. This is probably a donation. I don't think that's probably going to be super attractive to a lot of people. These might not be worth my time. And it's also, breakable. These might, but they're also heavy, so shipping might be ridiculous. I might have to donate those. Who knows about this thing? I might have a buyer. If the Sega Genesis doesn't work and I can't test it, I might not get much out of that. The Mink might be prohibited, or maybe it's degrading, in which case I might pitch it. But the ones I'm excited about, I'll definitely sell the coasters. These 2 glass pieces I'm going to sell easily. These will sell. This camera equipment will sell. The Fiesta dishes will sell. The Griswold will sell. And a couple of these other lots. That gavel will sell. So this whole lot here, folks, everything you saw I pulled out of here, my guess is 10 to 20% of these things will either have to be trashed or will be donated. 80% I'll sell. I would say of the percentages that I'm going to sell, probably 60% of them I'll sell individually. The 40% I'll sell in small lots. And I expect to get somewhere in the range of probably $200 to $300 when all of this is sold. Possibly more. The Griswold will represent $50 or $60 out of that. Probably $20 or $30 total out of the Fiesta stuff. Well, Not too bad.
That's it for today, folks. As always, thanks so much for joining us and going through this cool stuff with us. If you haven't done it yet, please check out our other YouTube channels. We dropped another What Sold video from the What Sold YouTube channel today as well, where my brother just goes through and shows stuff we sold in our eBay store. Just, this is what it was, this is what we sold it for, how much we paid, all that kind of stuff. If you like that kind of thing, check it out as well. We'll see you next week. Rusty hair.